Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rahn Talks. Today, we're going to be talking about the reason why I think most sandbox not sandbox MMOs, why I think most sandbox games in general are kind of bad. Now, the main ones I want to speak about would be Skyrim and Grand Theft Auto 5. Skyrim gives this high praise about it being like such a beautiful and fantastic world with its rich environment where you could do anything, and people have given it a lot of praise. But personally, for me, I purchased Skyrim Special Edition and tried to get into it. I purchased the original Skyrim. I even purchased Skyrim VR. It's still sitting in my PlayStation 4, not being used. Um, it's just, to me, the game does look beautiful, but the overall story never picks me up. Now the lore is good in Skyrim. They actually like if you pick up a book and read the lore, you got a lot of pages. It's very interesting in reading about people's lives and what they're writing about it, like some ritualistic type of stuff. One time I picked up a book about a Daedric woman at like a ritual site, and she was talking about how she was like trying to freaking um, summon back something from the other portal or other world or whatever they called it. It was pretty interesting. And it even talked about like an attic or like a cabin, and I tried to get an area where it was, and I actually found the cabin, and there was actually a person there that tried to attack me, and I killed them. And that was a pretty interesting part. I read the lore, and it added me to that type of storyline, and I didn't actually want to kill the individual, but that's the whole freedom part of Skyrim that always upsets me, is that you're supposed to have this overall freedom, correct? Well, let me tell you about freedom. Freedom means that you get to decide whether you want to play as a good character or a bad character. Now, in Skyrim, you can play with the Stormcloak side, or you could be a thief, like go to the Thieves Guild. You could join the Revolution, join the Imperial to prevent the Revolution, or even be an Assassin's Guild. That's cool, right? Why do you have to kill the dragon at the end? Why do you even fight dragons? You're the Dragonborn. But isn't the dragon the one that saved you from getting executed and your head becoming chopped off? Now, true, the dragon does wind up attacking you, kind of, to where you have to defend yourself. But if you really think back on it, the very first dragon that showed up in Winterhold didn't even come after you. It was attacking. It was attacking Winterhold, or I think that's the right. No, maybe that's not the right place. Whiterun, I definitely have not played the game quite enough because I can't really get into the game. But there is a dragon that attacks at the beginning after Helgen, and he doesn't attack you per se. You're just in the city, and they ask you for help. Shouldn't you have the decision to say, "Nah, I'm gonna let the world burn," or that dragon saved my life. Why would I attack them, right? But you actually can't progress with the story. You can't decline because you can't advance to the story. There's not multiple branches of the main storyline. Therefore, you cannot beat the game. So you cannot have a sandbox with multiple endings. So all you're left with is being the good character that kills the dragons and stuff. And, people love killing dragons. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't love killing dragons. I'm just saying that you should have some freedom there. You should be able to you should be able to side with the dragons and actually destroy the whole world. That would be a very interesting story experience just to add on. Just be like, yeah, okay, you decided to side with the main dragon. Now you're buds, and you take over the world, and you're just chilling there, and the humans are subjugated to you, or just off the world type of stuff. But you get the point. It's pretty interesting. just to think about that. But there doesn't seem to be that type of creativity or that type of thought process to it. They just want to say, okay, plop, here you go. You follow these set guidelines. You cannot attack certain individuals that are quest givers and kill them. You can't attack, for example, you can't attack kids, which, I mean, I get it. There are kids. You probably don't want to kill them. That's kind of morally wrong. But it is a video game as well. And then we're going to get into the whole political debate about how they're like banning kid content and all that stuff. But that's a whole nother topic that I don't want to go with. But anyway, like if they want to stay with their mature rating or the rating of Skyrim, then that's fine. But quest givers, really? They shouldn't be considered like quest givers. They should be considered an individual. If you don't like the individual and you kill them, how about you just implement a new quest line, so you don't have to deal with the issue of like, oh no, the people can't progress with the story. If you killed Ulfric Stormcloak, or you killed like a main quest giver that you like the main storyline required you to have, you could like therefore unlock a new storyline with a new group of individuals that come to recruit you because of what you've just done. And you can decline or you can accept, and you can go on that story. Problem solved. There is no issue. But to say that people are just completely invulnerable takes you completely out of the whole sandbox thing. And you're more like a mercenary anyway. You don't really feel like you're committing to the story at all. You feel like you're just chilling there, and you're picking up these quest lines from people. You're not. Like, I know you're supposed to be the Dragonborn, but, like, to me, it feels kind of lazy. Here, we'll make you a nameless character. You can do everything you want and have fun with it. I'm not saying that you should be a named character and they should have, like, you should still be, like, more of the line, like, center of attention when it comes to the role-playing genre, and not, like, feeling like a mercenary, feeling like you're just accepting these quests. It does allow you to have freedom, and I'm not saying they should make it a linear thing, since it is supposed to be a sandbox experience. All I'm saying is they need to do it in a way that makes you feel like you want to do it. Now, I know I can't really reference Witcher too much because it's not a sandbox, and it's not a traditional role-playing game like Skyrim, because you are playing as Geralt. It is an RPG, but you're not playing as a nameless character. You're not doing the character creation. You're playing as Geralt, and you're following his storyline and stuff. But I will say they do get the mechanic right. Even though you're role-playing as Geralt and you have this own dynamic storyline with his character, you do get to freaking decide on what quest you want, but it still feels good. It still feels like you're there. They do the side quest and they do the decisions as if they actually mattered, as if they actually had weight. I played a freaking side quest in Witcher 3 a little bit ago, where you at the beginning of the game, where you're chilling with this one witch chick. I'm not gonna get any spoilers. I mean, the game's been out forever, but you're chilling with this one witch chick, and you have the option to be with her and like hang out with her, kill her because she finds something that she shouldn't find, and she's gonna take it somewhere. But if you don't kill her, she's gonna go and she's gonna get staked alive by the person she takes it to. Or you could legit just prevent her, I think, and and save her life. I never went down that route, so I'm not sure. She might just inevitably die because she's stupid, but you get the point. They do give you choice, and it does feel like you're able to decide. You could kill her by your own hands. You could try and save her life. You could prevent her from going to the person. You could you could just let her go to the person and get staked. Your decisions matter in that game. And that's just a side quest character. and it shows what you've done. It shows that you just killed that character off. That's how you do side quests correctly. That's how you do quest lines in general correctly. When I was playing The Witcher, I would pick up a side quest that I personally found interesting, and it no longer felt like a side quest. The story, the character, their emotions, everything was there to make that feel just as much as a freaking main story quest than any of the other ones, any of the main story could have ever done. And I honestly liked all of the side quests that I played in that game. I still haven't fully finished it because my PlayStation has been out of commission for a while, and that's unfortunate. But I've played enough of it to know that all the side quests that I've played in that game are really good, and that's why I think like Skyrim could have been way more than what it is. When it first came out, it was revolutionary as an open world RPG experience game where you could like do anything you wanted and stuff. I mean, Oblivion did the same thing, but not onto the graphical scale as Skyrim. And I know it wasn't too graphical back when it first released, but mods quickly came for it on PC, and it was graphical enough to where people were absolutely excited about it for that time. And so I can't take that type of reputation back from them. They did earn a big part of the community, and they did do what they set out to do when it came to trying to create a world with some type of content in it to drag people in and spend their time. And I am one of the only individuals that just can not get into the game. I hope I'm not the only one, but back to Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm gonna wrap this video up. They do it correctly. They do side quests and main story. Here we go. They do main story really well. I know, again, you're playing as these three characters: Trevor, one guy, and the other guy. You know, I can't remember their names. I can only remember Trevor, which is quite funny because he was one of my favorite characters in it. And I watched a whole playthrough series of it, and I even purchased the game afterward on my console, and because I didn't have a PC at the time. Now I do, and I really regret my purchase decision, but that's another subject. Anyway, the end of the story is that Grand Theft Auto 5 and Witcher 3 know how to do their storyline pretty freaking good, and you do feel like you're playing as the character. Now, if you could translate that into a character that you created yourself and you feel part of the story, then you have a perfect open world experience. Along with, you have to have multiple endings, and you have to have you have to make it detailed to where every side quest and every main quest feels like you had a choice. You can decide not to accept a freaking main quest, and you don't feel cheated from the main story experience because you could do a different storyline, and it branches out to where instead of helping the main king or something, you rebel against him and kill him, and you really feel like you just committed something. You really feel like you have you're part of the rebellion now. You stuff like that. They don't have that they don't implement it well enough in the base version of Skyrim. I know there's galore full of mods that probably make the Skyrim experience actually enjoyable to someone like me. But I am judging it on a base game that the base developers came up with. And the base game is not that good at all. And they're relying on their modding community to make all their content for them. They're putting very little effort into it. They're copy and pasting assets. They're just writing small bits of story. The only thing that I like about Skyrim was the lore. Whoever did the lore system and actually written all the books for the lore system was a genius. That actually makes the world come to life if you read the lore books. If you find all of them and collect all of them. It's the only good thing about the game that I was actually doing at the time. I couldn't get into the story, so I would literally just read the books. And that's where I'll leave it off. I hope you enjoyed my content. I'm really keen on feedback. This is my first video. I probably rambled a decent amount, but I hope you enjoyed it. And please let me know in the comments. I know a lot of you are going to disagree. I want constructive criticism. I want your own opinions. I just want to have a nice discussion about this topic. And I'll see you in the next video I make.